They line up once a week, hoping to get a ticket to exchange for their first meal of the day, sometimes their first meal in several days. The volunteers have a limited number of tickets to give out, and pregnant women, children, and the elderly are given priority.
Just a couple of years ago, it was impossible to see someone living in the streets. Not anymore. In the last 3 years, the number of homeless people has exponentially increased.
3 years ago, Gaspere Salerno created a program at the Catholic Church where he's a priest to help feed people who live on the streets of Caracas.
The majority of people living in the streets are normal people, people who could not keep up with the economic crisis and ended up living in the streets.
Father Gaspere says the program depends on donations from parishioners, and he says it's helped feed more than 54,000 people over the past year alone.
They are providing us significant support. It makes us feel good to know there are still good people who will help us eat.
The homeless of Caracas sleep on the street, under bridges, in parks, or in front of grocery stores, with little protection from the elements. According to the latest survey on living conditions in Venezuela, conducted by the country's leading universities, more than 60% of all Venezuelans now live in extreme poverty. It's a shocking number that's ballooned from under a quarter of citizens found to be extremely poor just 4 years ago. And experts say the daily struggle to survive is taking a huge emotional toll.
A sense of pessimism is being created, not only for those who the terrible economic crisis forced to live on the streets, but also for those who think this will only get worse and feel hopeless about it.
According to the survey on living conditions, only 1 in 10 Venezuelans can afford enough food each day for a healthy diet. For the hundreds of homeless people who line up for a meal ticket at El Rosal each week, the food provides some sustenance to continue fighting adversity, even as they live life in the streets. Juan Lamas, CGTN, Caracas.